The Hale Manor Collective consists of three guys that love movies and want to express their views on what they think real movies should be, and they do it.
We really love films, and we wanted to get into it, and we got into it really early, like during high school, and we just never stopped. We're just like the ultimate film geeks that wanted to make films that other geeks would like.
Okay, here we go. Hale Manor Collective is a group of guys who've been making movies for about 10 years now. Met together on the premises that we all kind of separately wanted to make movies, and we kind of built that bond around that. And we've been doing so since then. Kind of like a big family of us just doing this kind of like gypsy work. You guys, you drop, so I can go through, I can go here once this happens.
After everything moves alone, Tom, our famed screenwriter, had ideas, I guess.
Land of College Prophets is a film that came out of the mind of Tom Seymour.
I wanted to do a movie that surrounded a college. I just had fond memories of my college, you know, and I just wanted to do something in the vein of that.
We wanted to make an action movie next, simply because Everything Moves Alone was shot on film, 16mm film, and it was hard to shoot extra stuff just because film is so expensive. So when we heard we were going to do this one on video, we're like, oh, let's do it. Let's do an action movie.
Ideas started rolling from there. Where it went from that point on is just Tom dedicated himself to getting the script to this highest level.
I just pictured all this violence in it, and so I started writing, you know, all these fight scenes, action scenes into it, and it slowly evolved into something else, and eventually I just sort of like let a lot of my feelings go.
All fell into Tom's hands as far as what the story was going to be. I mean, characters were created, and it just all kind of came together in Tom's head.
Went uphill from that point on, and we just kept it. The production part started happening.
Call it what it is, and it's about these violent guys who wake up a well and beat up people to stop it. I wanted basically all the characters to look like they had stepped out of a comic book. You'd write a character and it wouldn't be fully fleshed out, you know, and then you go back to it and you keep sort of figuring out like little flaws that would be funny, little quirks that the characters have, you know, and also you work with real people, you know. I talked to Phil.
Character was written as a tough guy.
This is your character, and he said, well, it seems kind of plain, you know. And I'd be like, well, what do you think? What would you want? You know, what if he had a military theme? Phil's like, yeah, cool. You know, so we work on that.
So I had to look the part more than anything. Extensive physical training was a large part of the character itself. Worked out for, I don't know, like 6 months. It's like every day.
I'm gonna rip your cock off, so it's something to put on my Christmas tree.
Tommy character I had been working on for a long time. The idea of his character is that he's always there. He's omnipresent, and he's there to tell you the story. And his story is all about just being good enough to hang in the game. His character really represents Hale Manor. I know it sounds kind of goofy, but it really does, because when I was writing it, that's how I felt. We're not the best, but, you know, we fucking deserve to be here.
Irvine Jones is a goalie helmet from hockey, and that's the basic thing that the mask is made of. When, you know, go to the art store, get some plaster, like paper mache stuff, formed the actual look of it, and just kept adding random stuff to it, bolts and nuts and horns and string, and I think the more detail you put on it, the cooler it gets.
You always used to write so beautifully in class. It's a shame. The only time you were ever beautiful to me was on paper.
What does that mean? What does that mean, Bells? What do you want?
I want to know why you treated me so badly. I want to know why you're like this. You just tell me like you care, that I understand.
When Bells is leaving, and Tommy comes up the stairs, and they have a bit of a confrontation, Bells and Tommy, that is. And it's just, it's really, I think, really powerful as far as both performances go. So it's one of those moments where you watch it and you're like, you still get excited that this is something that we all created.
Shirley Temple, now!
Jonah Joe with his armband, like cigarettes and his cards. That was actually something was thrown in after concept, because originally Jonah Joe was a completely different character on script. He was like a 7-foot-tall, big jacked cowboy kind of character, and he's completely altered in the film. And the reason why is actually because Russ Russo made such an awesome performance in his tryout that it completely threw us through a loop.
Yeah, that's funny boy. And that's just not sexy.
This one scene where we taped him for like probably 3 or 4 minutes past what we should have taped him doing, and it was all good stuff. It's an honor to have an actor into it so much, and the fact that he never broke character. He was Jonah Joe, the Irish thug, and that was great. I got to hang out with a character that I created like the whole movie shoot. We'd sit down to dinner at after a 14-hour day of shooting. Russ Russo would sit down, and we'd be around the dinner table, and he'd tell us all about like Dublin and what it's like there, and and none of it was true, And my parents didn't realize that he wasn't Irish until after this film shoot. It was like after the film shoot, like a couple people were like, "Oh, the dude's not Irish," because everyone's like, "Where'd you get this guy? Is he right off the boat?"
I love it.
Wait, are we speaking to Jonah Joe right now?
Always.
I was trying to concentrate on the direction of the film, the storytelling ability of it, to make sure it's focused and thorough so that you understand from the audience point of view what you're seeing. We didn't want to spoon feed everything to the audience. We wanted the audience to kind of get their own ideas and from the perception from the film.
Welcome to Hale Manor Productions. This is it. This one room and this one computer and one keyboard. And that's really about it.
That's the filing area.
This is the filing area, the office. There's a special effects shot in the film where a rat explodes. We want to assure you that that was my pet rat, Emerson, and that it was a she. I don't know why she had a man's name, but she was not injured or hurt. What we did was basically we had a big fish tank, and we had the mouse crawl around.
And then we would we'd lock the camera down. We have the mouse running around. We pull the mouse out, put a little firecracker where the mouse was, and then we record that. So in fact, what you're seeing is what would appear on TV to be an exploding rat is actually just a rat. Stop the camera, record, exploding firework. There you go. Not exploding, no death of mouse. It's safe.
Yeah, you just edit. You edit on the impact of the explosion. One thing that you notice is how noisy things are.
Yes, this house happens to be around the area of a local airport and people who build pools for a living.
Here we are, shooting on day 2 with the well during the day. As you can hear, there's a fucking lawnmower. The guys right behind that fence are taking down a goddamn pool. There's fucking birds going crazy. The yard back there has got some fucking dogs that just bark all goddamn day and keep striking a post. And you hear that? Fucking sawzall. And there's a guy on that fucking roof that was blowing leaves out of his gutters with a blow thing, the air thing. Shut up, I hate you all. Yeah! Let's document this!
So day 3.
Uh-huh.
How are you feeling?
Tired.
Yeah? How do you think it's going so far?
Pretty good.
Yeah?
We're on schedule. We got, we're actually ahead of schedule right now. We had a screw up last night with the rain, but besides that,
We're pretty good.
Over here, this is actually like the prepping station. This is where all the actors got all their makeup at night. This was actually, if you turn around from the well, it's literally like right there. You got the makeup area.
Yes. One of the problems is the makeup I'm using.
You got that.
Initially, we made the well to be able to take it apart, and we had the base built, and then we built the 3 roofs separate on the ground.
We were originally going to move that well like to the location every day. Once we realized how big it was and how heavy it was, and how much of a chore it would be to bring it to the park down the street, the backyard at Tom's parents' house looked like an ideal place to shoot.
This thing is it's 8 feet wide and it's about 20 feet high. Shooting in the well, there's scenes where you see Jonah Joe and he's at the base of the well. And it kind of looks like he's a little ways down there. Well, all we did was like put our camera way up in the rafters and point down. And at the time, we mostly filled in this hole so people wouldn't get, kids wouldn't fall in and get hurt, and we covered it over, but basically it went down maybe 5 or 6 feet.
The well is a fantastic structure. It's huge. I don't know if we did it actually justice for how big this structure really is in real life. It has great little things inside, like the moving buckets and the mechanics, like the little gadgetry that's built into the side of it, and the whole windmill, and just all these little extra features, and the water pouring from the buckets. It kind of gives it the essence of an element of reality, as if it was like its own entity, its own machine, its own creature.
I just kind of wanted to create something that sounded sort of menacing and interesting. The well that 8 Children was built over a 1-year period. I started building it in my backyard with my dad.
We developed, Tom and I, the structure. It is fairly light. If you look at the roof here, this is only 1/4-inch plywood.
He worked mostly on the structure, and I worked on, I still work on the structure as well, but I worked on the detail. They call this place the Well at 8 Children.
It'd be great to one day be able to all quit our jobs and just make movies and get paid and live our lifestyle like we want to. I mean, I don't need $10 million in my bank account, nor do I want it. But to be able to pay your rent, buy food, pay your car payment, all that stuff with just by making movies would be great.
We'd like to go the route of the Coen brothers that basically just kept doing their own thing until someone noticed.
It's a team. It's like I said, it's a family, and we've built on that bond of love for each other and love for the films that we do.
You guys ready? Yep. Let's do it, everybody. Let's do that again. Rolling and action.